Not quite as vibrant, is it? Though New England Aster is quite a bit more vibrant and holds a longer bloom period, the Skyblue Aster actually holds a very vital part of the ecosystem because of its height, and it actually grows a little more straight up than the New England Aster. It's able to get sun in areas that New England Aster actually sometimes struggles to get sun. And though it's not as a deep, rich purple, it's more of a lighter purple into a blue, Skyblue Aster is very, very attractive to certain pollinators, very specific butterflies. It's not as woody, so it's a lot more enjoyable to graze upon by fauna such as deer, cattle, bison, and things of the sort. So if you're going to put it in something like a CRP mix or a pasture mix, then you'll be attracting more of the larger animals, while smaller animals such as groundhogs and birds love the seeds of these things. And there are tons of heads of seeds. I mean, look at this. Just on a very small portion, you see how many we've got. Over 10 flower heads that can produce not only nectar for pollinators, but also seeds that will, one, reproduce itself, and two, it will have an area for feeding grounds for small birds and smaller animals. Another important thing to note about Skyblue Aster is that it is very resilient in soil. It actually, the one thing that it can't handle is too wet, but anything past that, it can handle pretty dry and get up to sandy and even some rockier soils, which makes it a lot more versatile than some asters to be able to hang out and grow in more arid and dry areas. Skyblue Aster is native all the way through Central America, down from Texas up to Minnesota, and even spreading a little bit onto the East Coast. But again, when it starts getting really muggy and really wet down in Alabama, Mississippi, it tends to struggle a little bit more. Now, asters are very resilient in general, so they're going to make it work, but it is a lot more prominent in the central United States. Similar to its more popular counterpart, New England Aster, if you are going to be growing this in a smaller area, make sure after the first couple of years you start clipping off the seed before it drops off, because it can reseed itself very quickly. And of the forbs, asters are very, very adept and good at reproducing themselves. So if you don't want an overwhelming amount of Skyblue Aster, make sure you kind of contain it. Now, if you're in a larger area and you've got some Indian grass and big bluestem and switchgrass in there, these are perfect plants to have in there because they actually help push aside the big blue and Indian and help other things grow through. Skyblue Aster is also a favorite of insects. Late in the morning and into the afternoon, you are filling this place with insects. There are butterflies and bees pollinating all over the place. Of course, since it's a fall species, there are tons of grasshoppers that are hanging out in here. And it's one of the loudest places I've ever heard crickets on this farm is in our Skyblue Aster fields. So if you're going just for looks, we tend to like the New England Aster a little bit more. But if you're going for diversity and ecological health, you've got to have Skyblue Aster in there. It is a must. One of our favorites.